Hello students, welcome back to the new lecture of power system analysis, and the chapter is power system stability, and our today's new topic is equal area criteria. Before starting the equal area criteria, we must have to know few things, that why we people using the equal area criteria method. Actually, this method eliminates the partially or completely the calculation of swing curve, and thus saves a considerable amount of work over a alternator calculation. This method is applicable to any two machine system. This method is not applicable to multi-machine system directly, but it can be indirectly modified with the help of point-to-point analysis, right? The principle of this method consists of the basic that when delta torque angle or power angle, it oscillates around the equilibrium point with constant amplitude, transient stability will be maintained, right? Now starting with a single machine, let we have a equal area criteria topic. Now as we know that we have a swing curve represented by a power flow curve with this formula, in which P is the electrical power and it is P max sine del, where the sine del is a power angle. Therefore the swing equation is a non-linear differential equation. We have already derived it in the previous lecture. Now consider for a two machine system, one machine is connected to the infinite bus bar. Then it is possible to say whether a system is transient stable or not without solving the swing equation, just observing the equal area criteria. Suppose we have a graph from a power flow or a swing equation like this. Here it is a generator portion, we have already studied in the previous lecture. This curve is represented for a motor. Now if we consider only the positive part as a synchronous alternator or a generator part, consider that this is a base value of a mechanical bar which is taken as a reference. Now we have a three possibility. The first possibility is that either the electrical curve meet the mechanical power, either it crosses the desirable or a reasonable mechanical power, or balances itself during the fault analysis, or electrical power overshoots the mechanical power, which is seen from this diagram. Now taking mechanical power as a base, then this point of contact here, the first angle observed is a del, and this point is most stable point of a power flow diagram, or this point is most stable point for any system. Here if you see that power is maximum at 90 degree, it means if you see the complete curve is divided into two symmetrical parts. The first part is 0 to 90 degree and another part is 90 to 180 degree, right? And why we people do not draw beyond 180 degree? From 180 degree to 360 degree, again the flux and the magnetic field reverses from cross to dot product, as we see in alternator construction. So we have only considered about 0 to 180 degree, and the system will properly operate between 0 to 90 degree, and beyond 90 to 180 degree we have to set few parameters so that system can come back in an equilibrium position without disturbing the complete bus system, without disturbing the complete preventive and the precautionary parameters. Let us find the condition which satisfied d del upon del t equals to 0. Why we are considering d del upon dt equals to 0? Delta is basically an angular angle. If we remember basically, then delta is basically an angular angle. Definitely d del upon dt equals to 0 means the rate of change of velocity is 0, and if the rate of change of angular displacement is 0, and if the rate of change of angular displacement is 0, then definitely the angular velocity or the synchronous velocity of machine is constant, and this is the desired value, because if the synchronous velocity is constant, then 2 pi f the frequency is constant, right? Therefore we are interested in this analysis, right? Now the swing equation can be from the swing equation we have already derived this relationship. Multiplying both sides by 2 d del upon dt, if we multiply here and here, we get the equation like this. And mathematically what we know, this is from mathematics we already know. It means the above equation can be simplified into this manner. This is the partial differentiation method, and this moment of inertia results like this. Here we are very much interested in the d del upon dt parameter, again because it is a velocity, angular velocity parameter. Now dividing both sides with d del upon dt, right? If we divide it here, we after simplifications you will see we people get d del square dt is equals to 2 times p max and d del upon dt parameter. And on integration what we people get simplification like this, or we can say on applying the under root parameter we will get the equation like this. Like it means that before disturbance the standard value of angular rotor angle is del naught. Basically it is a torque angle or initial power angle or a rotor angle. At the time when d del upon dt becomes 0, the disturbance occurs. It means during disturbance there must be some fluctuation in the angular velocity, then definitely this parameter does not equals to 0. It is not equals to 0, then del starts changing. It means the rotor angle starts changing. It may be oscillate in a forward direction, it may be oscillate in the backward direction. Means it may be increase or it may be decrease. Means it may be accelerate the mechanical power, or it may be the deaccelerate or retard the mechanical power. After sudden speed change or disturbance, when the system comes back to its original position during a short time, then definitely this equation holds very good. It means the change in electrical power must be satisfied with a change in mechanical power and vice versa. And this change in electrical power and mechanical power relation is always equals to, if we remember, this parameter is always equals to the accelerating power of a alternator, and this is important, the accelerating power, right? Now consider we have a swing equation curve like this. Then this B point is most suitable, or we can say that this B point is most stable point. It means system can smoothly operate and recover itself between the area A1 and between the area A2. It means these are the permissible limit of the synchronous machine. This is first one and this is the second one. These two are the permissible limit of a synchronous machine during which it can operate easily, right? It can operate easily during the transient stability system. Now under these conditions the mechanical power output and the electrical power input are equal basically, and these are the mechanical power output and electrical power output equal, and under this condition the del is basically the del naught, right? Now if we see here the electrical power increases, it means the del angle increases. Here the mechanical power basically the mechanical power restores itself, and to maintain it we also have to decrease the del angle, right? So in this manner any machine can be balanced with itself. Now we have a 2-3 cases separate from this stable cases. When a machine sudden come under a fault, it means PA becomes positive, the rotor accelerates and the power angle becomes to increase. It means the motor will accelerate and recover its power in this direction, but not beyond this maximum value. This is the maximum value at del equals to 90 degree, or we can say that the critical angle is approximately 90 degree, not beyond 90 degree, right? After the fault is clear, PA is negative, right? After the fault is clear, PA is negative. Negative means it will come down And how it will be recovered? It will be recovered by reducing its torque angle or rotor angle. So it is a property of a machine to recover itself within a short span of time. But if it does not recover and the problem persists for a long duration, then it is a main cause of the machine failure. Now, from the previous lecture of a swing equation, we have a accelerating power in the terms of d del is given by this relation, and it can be solved with the help of electrical power in this relation. And the limit of integration is basically del naught to del. It can be vary from 0 to 180 degree for a full analysis, and for a stable analysis 0 to 90 degree. Now, we have assumed that machine is connected to a large power system. That is, large power system means infinite bus system we are talking about, right? So that terminal voltage and impedance as well as the frequency, all the parameters are basically constant. Then from equal area criteria, if we remember, this parameter must be equal to this. It means the generator action must be equal to the motor action, so that the centrifugal force and the centripetal force both are balancing each other. Here one important thing is that the main case of the study of transient stability in a system are basically number one, if you remember, the sudden change in the load. Second, it may be the switching of one of the lines which causes a change in the reactance of the system and hence change in the load of the condition. And the third one, if we remember, that sudden fault on any phase or a line or any system which causes reduction in the output, requiring the arrangement of the clearance of fault rapidly, smoothly, quickly, and study of after fault condition which may cause part of the system outage. If you remember, these three are the basic parameters. Now, if we simplify this equation, we will get equation like this, just integrating the sine del at this point and integrating the sine del at this point, because Pm and Pmax is a maximum electrical power, Pm is a input mechanical power, right? These both are the equal, and during fault time, electrical power basically collapse, it becomes 0, and if we put Pe equals to 0, then definitely Pm becomes to Pmax, right? And after again simplifying, we will get the equal area criteria stability equation. This is the important one, equal area criteria stability equation, and this is the equal area criteria curve at the time of stability. This is the most stable point, this is beyond this point this is unstable, and this is the controllable stable region, right? These are the several del angle which we people have diagnosed and see their observations. Now, what are the three cases? The first case, if you see the system is stable. How the system becomes stable? If A1 equals to A2. What is the A1? A1 means how much mechanical power can be restored by the mechanical portion, and that must be equal to the restored by the electrical portion. Now, why we people are saying this? If you remember the kinetic energy, kinetic energy is nothing but half j omega square, right? And this must be balanced by the electrical energy. And what is the electrical energy? Electrical energy is basically SMVA, right? SMVA. This is basically a megajoule portion. If you remember the unit, this is basically a megajoule, right? Now, what is the critical stability? If you see the critical stability, this is the point of critical stability, and at that point in which the synchronous speed fully balanced in the mechanical portion with the electrical portion, but beyond any sudden change, the system either become the unstable or come again in the stable region. And this is fully unstable region. If you see that area, because it crosses the Pmax value beyond the expectation, the electrical power loss is there, and here the mechanical recovery portion will need more of the mechanical power efforts, which is not balanced by the electrical system, right? It means whenever there is a large difference between mechanical and electrical system, then mechanical system is unable to accelerate to cope out the electrical problem, right? and such type of problem must be overcome or eliminated quickly by any external means, right? Now the critical clearing angle, this is very important. What is the critical clearing angle? If the fault occurs in a system, delta becomes to increases under the influence of positive acceleration and the system will becomes unstable. Similarly, if del becomes very large, it means beyond 90 degree, there is a critical angle within which the fault must be clear. Yani, it means there must be a certain point on the graph beyond which we are, if we do not control it, we have to sacrifice our alternator, right? That point or that angle on axis is known as a critical clearing angle. Consider this is a system followed by a fault at the point here, right? Now if you see here, there is a three-phase short. Now the accelerating area A1 starts to increase. This accelerating area A1 starts to increase while the state point moves belongs BC. This is the BC point. Now if the area starts increasing, then del starts moving in this direction. At a time Tc corresponding to clearing angle del C, the fault is cleared by circuit breaker. Now how much time it is required to recover the critical angle, or how much time it is required to clear the fault from an synchronous machine, that duration of time is known as a critical clearing time. And at the angle during which the time is already cleared the fault, that particular angle is basically known as a critical clearing angle. Now these two parameters are basically the main analysis of the if we say main analysis of the equal area criteria curve, right? Now we have, if we remember, 3 to 4 points must be known. At the critical clearing angle, mechanical power must be equal to the electrical power. Then definitely the area A1 is equal to A2. What is A1? This is A1. What is A2? We have already known to A2 is this. Then both are equal, and electrical rate of change of electrical power is 0 basically at the time of fault, if you remember. Then this equation must be equal to this, and if we simplify this equation using the integration property, then we people get this equation. This is the final equation. Again simplifying and removing all the trigonometrical parameter, putting the assumptions that Pm equals to Pmax at the time when P is eliminated, then what we people get? We people get critical clearing angle is cos inverse of cos del 1 plus del 1 minus del naught sine of del naught, where del C is the critical clearing angle, it is a initial power angle during a stable condition, this is power angle over during the unstable or the overshoot condition, right? In order to determine the critical clearing time, right, we must have to again apply a maximum minima or a differentiation property, right? How it can be determined? We have already a swing equation like this. Balancing this swing equation and integrating, we will get this, and if we integrate with respect to the del second integration, we will get del like this. Now we have to calculate this t square. How to manipulate? Just t equals to tc at the time when del becomes del c, or we can apply a limit property. As we apply limit property, we will get critical clearing angle, and by manipulation or simplification, we will get critical clearing time. This is important for various compression also, right? Note that the critical clearing angle is basically this function. If we remember, if the critical clearing time is larger than this value, the system would be unstable, and we do not have any control over the alternator basically. So we can say that this is the maximum allowable value of a system, or we can say beyond which we do not have any control over the alternator, and under which we have a full control over the alternator, right? Now these are the same expression just used for the comparison analysis, right? These both are the comparative analysis. Thank you so much. In the next lecture we will see a new topic, that is Z bus matrix. Okay, thank you so much.